just for fun, how many of you have a Facebook page? Everybody raise your hand. There's 2 of you that won't. That's okay. Anti-social. At least you showed up here, right? Okay. How many people here have a Twitter account? Keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. That's okay. All right. Keep them up real quick. Everybody look around. If you did not have your Twitter account last year, put it down. Okay, you can't vote. Okay, awesome. Sweet. All right, how many people here have a Pinterest page? Women? Okay.
I just set it up last week, actually.
Oh, one more time. No one got to see it. Who has a Pinterest page? All right, only 2 men. That's okay. 3. That's okay. I actually have an account. I don't even have anything on it yet. Okay, just want to get an idea who I'm talking to here. All right, well, let's get in this. I'm going to try to have a little bit of fun today. And if nothing else, to prove that I like to have fun, my Twitter handle is Ask Chandler. All right? No doubt about it. I didn't do that on purpose, but when I had my business cards printed up, I gave them to my client, and the first thing she said was, "Your Twitter handle's Ask Chandler?" I was like, "Yes, it is. That's right. You think of Ask Chandler, that's me." Okay. All right, so if you tweet, there you go. So this is kind of standard for me. That's my wife, Dolly. That's right. And Griffin is on the right. He's 5, and the kid with not 1 but 2 Ben 10 Omnitrix watches. That's pretty serious superpowers, folks. He's 8. His name is Jake. I do live in Hendersonville, as Vince mentioned. I'm actually about to move to Franklin. And I'm a hilltopper. Any hilltoppers in the house by chance? There you got a couple of you. All right, I'm a hilltopper. I went to school to be this guy.
Oh, funny.
Everybody know who he is, right? Who does not know who this guy is? It's okay if you don't. Actually, it's just fun to see the generational gap. A few people don't know who he is. Right? I wanted to be Darren Stevens. I was the ad guy. I wanted to be the career ad guy. I wanted to be Darren Stevens. And for the few of you who's like, who's that old guy? You know, okay, I just want to be this guy. Right? Same deal. He had more fun, I think, for sure. So I kind of got into the advertising industry, working on packaged goods brands, some stuff that hopefully you've used, either to kill bugs, to clean yourself, one way or another, right? Or at least to take care of a hangover. And then I started actually getting into destination marketing. So I started to work at agencies that kind of got in the hospitality industry, which got my interest. So I started working with destinations and communities. And I worked with a lot of cities all over the country, which is still a lot of what I do now. A lot of Chamber of Commerce, a lot of cities, a lot of convention visitors bureaus, economic development. That's about what I do, really. So I help communities have a better, stronger business community, whether it's because of the recruitment or because of the business that you have, which is what you're about, right? Mm-hmm. Right, Steve. Amen. You can amen. We're in the South. It's okay. All right. Amen. This is almost like a revival. That's good. Okay. The cool thing was, whenever I got into the business, marketing was about print ads, broadcasts, and brochures. That was kind of it. If you could understand the dynamics of that, then marketing was easy. It was a formula, literally. I knew if I could reach 65% of my target audience 3+ times, I'd win, right? We all knew those rules. It was kind of easy. In fact, I had gigantic spreadsheets that looked like this at the agencies that we worked at. And we break it out of how many times we're going to talk to people in what week and what markets, and we had all kinds of details of how we were going to scientifically reach and conquer our audience, right? We were going to tell them what we wanted to tell them, and they're going to like it, right? That was the good old days, wasn't it? By the way, you notice what's at the very bottom of this spreadsheet? This is a real spreadsheet from a real client at one point. TV, radio, outdoor, newspaper, print, magazine, online. We had online. This is about $1 million media buy. That online portion was $40,000. Shows you, this is about 4 or 5 years ago. Shows you where our emphasis was, right? And we're not going to fly today. And by the way, most of that online was just banner ads on the print magazines' websites that they gave us, right? Let's be honest, that's what that was. All of a sudden, things started changing, though. For some reason, in marketing world, in the ad world, the years 50 million people was kind of the acceptance nationally of when it would get anybody's attention. Even if you didn't advertise nationally, you know, if not enough people were using a particular vehicle, you just didn't care. It wasn't worth your time. For some reason, the magic number is 50 million. I don't know why, just what it is. It hasn't grown either, by the way. Even though we're like 400 billion people, it's still 50 million is mass communication. It took radio about 37 years to reach 50 million people. Took TV 12. to Facebook too. And I use this chart because I think this says it all. I think this is why we were in denial of this new thing coming on so quickly, because what we did worked. And let me define that differently. We built careers. We built businesses based on our formula of how to market and create sales. Careers out of it. And I'm about to ride into the sunset career. I don't need anything to disrupt the apple cart. I don't want to have to learn something all over again. It happened so quickly that surely this could be a fact. It's the next thing. It's just a computer deal. We'll let it ride in and out and I'll keep my business. There's a lot of us. You're talking to Darren Stevens here. I was one of them. We'll let the little computer guys have fun and then we'll just move on with our business and it'll be like it was. I believe this is why it happened so quickly and why at first a lot of us were resistant to change, perhaps. All of a sudden I had to learn words like this. Likes, follows, tweets, cost per click, wikis, blogs, organic search. Had no idea what this was. In fact, if you're like me, the idea of online marketing or digital marketing made you feel like this guy. Right? Does anyone feel like this or felt like this when people are talking about online marketing, code, developing? Are you a lamp shop, PHP? Am I getting there? Am I getting you there? Right? That's how I felt. I had no idea because I was Darren Stevens. So I did what we all do today. I had a makeover. Right? Now, what does a digital makeover include? I'll give you an idea. First of all, I love creating controversy. In fact, I think I saw one of you earlier, and I was like, stir the pot, stir the pot. So that's me. So the first thing you do for a digital makeover is you get an iPhone, okay? See, I have an app that controls, remote control because I have an iPhone, right? So first, if you want a digital makeover, you have to get an iPhone. That's rule number one. There's some sarcasm there, and a couple of you get the evil out because you're a Android. I get it. All right? Number two is you go work with a bunch of young people. All right? All right? You know, little hipsters, perhaps. This is everybody familiar with Paramore Online Marketing, Paramore Red in the Gulch. I went to work with Hannah Paramore. Said, you know what? I'm getting out of the agency business. I need to know everything you know. She said, cool. I want to do some other stuff. So you come work with me for a year, and I'll teach you everything. Okay, cool. And then the next thing that you do these days is you get a tattoo, right? So I got a tattoo. All right. And then I started my company, Chandler Things. It's what I do now. It's digital marketing branding strategy. And I've been fortunate already working with a lot of digital marketing, specifically social media planning for some destinations as well as a few places locally that you may learn. Anybody go to Tin Roof, right? Yeah, go to Tin Roof. Their pizzadillas are awesome, by the way. All right, gotta plug that. So I've been digging into social media for those clients. Today, here's what we're going to talk about. Why social media is a must for your business and how to do it successfully. That's what you came here for, right? I'm going to make it real easy because there's only 4 things you need to know. And bring on the banana pudding, right? Fishing, Popeye, Bonnie Raitt, and Zippo lighters, okay? If you can remember these things, you're going to know the answer to why social media is a must for your business and how to do it successfully. That's a pretty good deal, right? You don't have to write that down because it's so crazy. Stupid guy talking to me about, what did he say? What? Fishing, Popeye, Bonnie Raitt, Zippo lighters? We're going to make it easy. Okay, so we're going to dig into it. Social media, it's kind of big. Here are the top 10 websites in the world. Do you remember what this list used to look like about 10 years ago? ESPN, Better Homes and Gardens. They were magazine websites, right? CNN, that's what they used to be. What's the big common ingredient? The top 10 websites right now that we all, in the U.S., user-generated content. Top 10 websites. Number 1 is Google or Facebook. I don't know, depends what month it is. They're starting to get kind of back and forth, okay? But Google, search. Facebook, user-generated content. Yahoo, search. YouTube, search and user-generated content, right? They got the double whammy going there. Amazon.com uses user-generated input to sell to you, right? Wikipedia, user-generated. Twitter, user-generated. Blogger, eBay, Craigslist are all user-generated content. We control what we look at today, don't we? Isn't that the common ingredient? It's no longer, we're not out there surfing the World Wide Web. We're getting what we want, when we want, how we want it, and then we're going back to Facebook, all right? That's kind of the answer. When we talk social media, it's like the Abbott and Costello thing. Who's on, no matter what happens, at the end of the day, it's who's on first. Who's first base, right? Who's on third? First base, right? So anytime you're in a conversation, you get confused about social media, just go Facebook, okay? It's real easy. It's real easy to do that. All right, where are people spending their time? Facebook. See how easy that is? It's really easy. Facebook. When we're online, it's not even close. Who has been on Facebook today at least once? Who's checked in? Who's been on it since you've been in this building? Oh, come on, put them up real high. So who's been on it since you've been in the building? All right. Did you check in? Oh, I didn't check in. I'll do that. Okay. We spend our time on Facebook, make no mistake. So a lot of times people are going, I don't get it. How come I can't get people to go to my website from Facebook? It's real easy. We don't want to go to your website from Facebook. We want to stay on Facebook. That's true. It's what we want to do. We want to spend our time on Facebook. Here are the numbers. 800 million people now. And growing. That's everybody left. In fact, the truth is, the only people not on Facebook live in Montana. Okay? That's what you need to know. So unless that's your market, you need to talk to everybody, right? 300 million in the U.S., 50% are on it daily. 8 billion minutes are spent on Facebook a day. Because we have nothing better to do, like quality time with each other, right? That's what we're doing. We average 130 friends. Okay, come on, real quick. Who has over, I'm only going to do one number. This isn't a contest. Who has over 500 friends? All right? Cool. By the way, when I do that like in Vanderbilt or Belmont, and they're like 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 friends, and they start looking around, jockeying who's cool. And yeah. All right? The average Facebook person has 130 friends. 90 pieces of content are shared a month, and 250 million of them are on our phone. All right? I'm telling these numbers for a reason. Twitter, it's 100 million accounts. There's about 30 million that are very active. Okay? 35 million tweets a day. 80% of those are from your phone. YouTube, it's the #2 search engine in the world. And that's the number of videos that are uploaded on YouTube every month. That's more new content than has been created on NBC, CBS, and ABC combined since 1972. We're a bunch of content-generating machines, aren't we? And by the way, they really suck, right? I mean, the videos are horrible, right? Do we care? No. Speaking of things we don't care about, I don't care if you're a journalist. If you say something, it must be right? That's why this presentation is so easy. You don't even know if the data is correct, right? I'm just telling you about it. That's what bloggers do, it seems like, right? I actually do have source for all my data, in case you're interested. There's a couple of research people out here that are going to ask me about that later. Right? There's 133 million blogs out there. You need to take note because well over a third of them are talking about brands or products. That's what people blog about. All right? And 78% of us read blogs. How many times do you look up something on Google and one of the top listings, you're like, oh, there's what I'm looking for. You click on it and you realize, oh, I'm on somebody's blog. Half the time you don't care. If they look knowledgeable and credible, you believe what they say, right? Journalists hate this. Sorry. Reality is we believe friends and family, people that we know, that we trust, more than we believe advertising, and it's starting to be more than we believe media, isn't it? Right? And then we got this new thing, Pinterest. Here's what you need to know about Pinterest for today. It's the #3 social network. It's the fastest growing network. 80% are women, and it's more effective at driving revenue for companies than Facebook. And it's not just edging them out, it's 27 times more effective, 27% more effective than Facebook. Pinterest is a converting machine. How is that possible? Right? Because if you follow a brand or a company on Pinterest, you love them so much that you want to showcase the beautiful images, right? That's what you do when you go on vacation, you take a picture of it, right? So if you're that passionate about something, you're going to be participating in their Pinterest. So if you have people following you on Pinterest, they love you. That is low-hanging fruit at its best. All right? Why do I show you all this data? Why is all this important? It's real easy. Marketing 101. It's the one thing we all know about marketing that we'll all agree about. No doubt about it. Looks like this. This is in the Kenai, Alaska. It's in the Kenai River. Salmon fishing capital of the world. Anybody ever been there? Been there? It's beautiful Alaska. Huge. Beautiful space. You can vision it right now. There's a beautiful river. Why would you go somewhere like that and stand shoulder to shoulder with this many people? Anybody want to take a guess why all these fishermen go all the way to Alaska to stand next to a bunch of people?
Salmon.
They catch fish. Marketing 101, folks, is fish where the fish are. Am I right about that? This isn't about the trends. I don't care if it is trendy, if it's a fad, I don't care. At the end of the day, our dollars are important, and they take away from our profits when we have to spend them. Right? I'm only going to spend money if I have to. And I'm going to go where it's going to give me the greatest return, right? This isn't new marketing principle. Marketing 101 is you fish where the fish are. That's why social media matters for your business. Simple. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be a part of it. You don't have to follow anyone. You don't have to give a rip. You can think it's stupid. Just be a good business owner and do it. Because that's what your customers are doing. It's that simple. Make sense? Cool. Let's get some banana pudding. All right. So how's social media different? That's the problem. I was actually talking to someone before and like, I don't get it. I do this and this and this, and no one ever reacts to it. No one's ever listening. I'm telling them this, and no one ever does anything. Maybe the problem isn't the fact that social media, maybe it's the way you're talking to them, perhaps. Because if you believe in this, if this is your mindset, then you're probably broadcasting to them, right? Tell everyone what to do all the time, jam it down the throat, right? You're all about a campaign, our next marketing campaign. Instead, we'll see if this works. I think this is... Whoa. We'll see. Awesome. I might have to lift it for you.
There it is. Very low.
You do all the talking.
We can hear it now.
That worked.
This time with
Hey there. Long time no see. Looking good.
Yeah. Let's just keep this simple. I want a divorce.
What now?
I think you heard me just fine.
Come on. This is me. What's wrong?
We don't talk anymore.
I just put down $1 million on a TV commercial just to talk to you.
Exactly. You do all the talking. I never get a chance.
Talk on our website, can't you?
Sure. If I want to say, order this product.
See?
It's not exactly a dialogue.
What about the print campaign, You can't tell me you missed the billboard in Times Square. That was like a 200-foot tall declaration of love.
You're saying you love me, but you're not behaving like you love me. It's not genuine.
I don't know. The agency said I was genuinely being funny. Genuinely being charming. They said you would love everything I did.
Would you keep your voice down? You're not doing a radio commercial. Look, whether you're funny or not, it's just, I've changed, and you haven't. I mean, we don't even hang out in the same places anymore. You're not even listening, are you?
Coupons. You want coupons, don't you? Look, come by the store. I got 2 words for you. Loyalty, reduction. Am I right? That was it, wasn't it? Let's just hug.
If you knew me, you'd know I don't care about that.
Know you? Sweetheart, I know everything about you. You're 28 to 34. Your online interests include music, movies, and laser hair removal. You have a modest but dependable disposable income. Am I the only one not getting the problem here?
I'm out of here.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Look, I'll tell you what. Come back here tomorrow. I'll give you the chance to win a Bahamas vacation. There's a small chance.
Okay. You get the idea, right? It's okay. A lot of us, most of us are the guy. That's how we talk to our customers. You give them information. In fact, if I intercept you enough, right, I love it. As a Times Square, there was a 100-foot declaration of love. Don't you love my advertising, right? I mean, we fall in love with ourselves so easily. And today, more than it's ever been, yeah, go ahead and knock that puppy down. It's about the customer. It's about the customer. We've always believed it, but in our marketing, we didn't. In our marketing, it was always about us, and you're going to love us, right? Just like he is. Today, it is the conversation has to begin with them. I felt like I was going through therapy with my wife in that video, right? But now everything I learned about that is exactly what I need to apply to my marketing. So here's some people that I think probably have the wrong idea and might have a problem with social media. I'll be quick about this. If you use this in your marketing, all right, then you might struggle with it a little bit. Or this, right? Yeah. Or that. If you're one of these guys, if you're a sign flipper, I don't know, maybe. Or if you think this is great, what do I have a sign? It's about being authentic, right? About being genuine, right? Being really transparent here. You trust this guy? Right. Yeah. All right. Good deal. What about this guy? Well, we trust him, don't we? I think all these people are going to have a tough time with social media. This guy does for sure. That's my uncle. Yeah. Call that guy. I love these guys, right? We've seen these on TV. You know who I'm talking about. You want to say it right now, right? You want to say it to a couple of the lawyers that you see on TV, right? And you hate their commercials, don't you? Because they treat you like you're silly, right? In fact, can I just go ahead and get something over with? And if you're here, I'm sorry. I just got to get out of them. Don't you leave.
You see me.
Does that bug anybody else?
And how can he be in both places?
Right. The only reason I'd ever go there is to say I'm not leaving until I see the guy. Because I know he's not there, just to be a jerk. Anyway, I'll move on. All right. My point is, this is how we've always marketed. We've all done it. It's okay. We're built that way. We were successful because of this approach. What I would advise you is, instead of a monologue, we've moved to a dialogue. Right now, it's mostly a monologue. I'm trying to include you on it. Now, you've expectations that I'm doing most of the talking, but the reality is, none of us like that. None of us like to be sold. It's okay for someone to help us buy something, right? We're into conversations. We're into sharing. That's how social media is effective, when you learn these principles. It's not about controlling your message and getting it perfect. It's about getting it out there, right? It's about managing it. I had a client one time who said, I don't need to be on social media. I said, why? He goes, I just don't have time for it. I said, well, you're a telecommunications company. You make cell phones and plans. No, this is no joke. This is 2 years ago. Why wouldn't you be on Twitter? We just don't have time for it. I don't think it's important. I said, okay, hold on. Right there on the spot, I did a Twitter search for people that were actively tweeting about his brand name. It wasn't a casual name. It was very specific. So if someone's using it, we did a search for his name. Immediately, in the last 7 minutes, there were 10 listings, 10 tweets sent out about his brand name. 7 of the 10 used an expletive. People don't usually use an expletive when they're excited about you, by the way. It got his attention, needless to say. You've got to start thinking about managing your brand and managing your business, managing your reputation, not just controlling it, because it's happening whether you're a part of it or not. Does that make sense? Cool, awesome. All right. I do believe it's about conversations online. We have little cocktail receptions all the time. We're all on Facebook, so let's talk Facebook. Facebook is like a little cocktail party, right? I mean, with different people. We have like our baseball team, our alumni from college we went to. We also have like a little high school group, people we work with, we have chamber. We got the Bellevue chamber. We got a little group with them, right? We got our church group, right? We got a little church group, of course, right? We got our drinking group. That might be your church group. Might be the same one. I don't know. Right? There's a lot of Baptists around here. We keep them separate, but we do the same. It's all good. But the idea, it's a kind of a cocktail party with lots of different people, right? Kind of get that? We're chatting about whatever it is we talk about. So it's like this. And if you go in like the car salesman guy, the Kia guy, if you go in like don't you see guy, you ever been to a cocktail party and all of a sudden this guy shows up? Right? See that guy on the far right? He just totally invaded a conversation. They were having a good time, chatting. The guy walks in and goes, hey, what's going on? Can I talk to you about some tires? I sell tires. My name's Jim Bob and I sell tires. And right, it's really awkward when someone just invades your dinner party conversation like that. And the reality is, people know that you want to sell something. You run a business. It's okay. But give them the courtesy of knowing who the heck they are, what they're talking about. So if you're going to be the uninvited guest, don't be that guy. Be these guys, right? The White House does. Yeah. Right? If you're going to be a party crasher, know what to wear before you walk in the door. Make sure you blend in with everybody else. Know what they're going to talk about. No, you know what they're going to be talking about? See some foreign affairs. They're going to be talking about elections, blah, blah, blah. And, we'll always talk about, John Edwards. He's fun to talk about right now. And, they knew everything to talk about. So when they walked in, of course they were guests. Of course they were, weren't they? No. Right? I just think it's a great example. That's how we should use social media. So let's learn from other people real quick. What works? How do you do this stuff? And I'm going to fly through this part of it. But ask questions. It's the number one rule of social media. Just ask a question, right? Loveless Cafe is a great place for an event. That's a poster, isn't it? I mean, I could see a poster that says Loveless Cafe, come check out event, Bellevue Chamber of Commerce, it'll be Steve Chandler, renowned speaker, be there, right? I mean, I could see that. Social media, maybe you need to change it. We're going to be at Loveless Cafe. What's your favorite item on the menu? The reality is, I just want to engage you in conversation about us. That's all I want to do. If you do that, now I've included you on what I have to say. That makes sense? Right? So ask questions. Who knows what kind of bird this is and what his or her name is? You know what the answer is? They didn't care. I mean, they knew the answer. They didn't care. As long as they were engaging people, start doing your math. Why? Because everyone averages 130 friends. The goal of social media is not for you to do all the marketing. It's for you all to do all the marketing for me. Right? Makes sense? That's the goal. Ask questions. I'll give you a real example. Tennessee. This is when I was at Paramore, to give them credit at Paramore Online Marketing. State of Tennessee was our client. We did all their social media. We actually started up their Facebook page. These are real numbers for the first 6 months of their Facebook page. Very first month, we had 90 friends on our page, which was basically everybody that worked for us. Right? It was also our friends and family. Everybody worked in our building downstairs, right? That's first. Month number 2, we got 98 new people, which was, we now told our clients that they need to join the Facebook page and tell everyone that works for the state of Tennessee to do it, right? Third month, I don't know. At least you know I'm being honest. Maybe they didn't pay their bills. Who knows? But we didn't get any new people according to our analytics. Month 4, we had 527 new people. 2,400 new people. 14,000 in 1 month. Something turned on, didn't it? We figured, first of all, we didn't know what we were doing at first. Okay? We didn't know. Second of all, we figured it out. What was the difference? The biggest thing was simply the way we talked to people. Because what we were saying was, Loveless Cafe is a great Tennessee roadside attraction. Can I get an amen? Amen. Amen, right? That's what I would always say. I get crickets chirping. Because I was telling people, but they didn't have to do anything to receive that message. My goal wasn't to tell that one person. It was that one person to tell 25, 30 people, 130 people, right? We changed the way we communicated, and it made the huge difference. That's the light bulb that went off. I'll show you the examples if you can see them from that far away. Ready to go golfing? Where is your favorite course? We didn't care. We included a link to the state of Tennessee golf course map. Guess what? I don't care where your favorite course is. As long as you're communicating and participating, I win. Right? Does that make sense? What is the one thing that defines Tennessee? Is it a sign, person, or something else? Give us your best answer. Again, I don't care. The goal that we had was we wanted to engage people in talking about Tennessee and the great things about Tennessee, right? I let you finish the marketing. You finish the promotion. Does that make sense? Right? So that's what we did. Be fun and relevant. Have some fun. We're on Facebook. It's social. We're not there to do business, really. I mean, we might say that we do in this group, but the reality is we're stalking our old girlfriends. Okay? I mean, that's what we're doing, okay? We're there to have fun and interact with people. So be fun and relevant. Look at what people share the most. It's the fun stuff, right? Yesterday, I had tons of people like a picture because I had a sign of, I don't know where it was, but there's a sign that said water. But underneath it was a bunch of bottles of wine, right? And at the bottom it said Jesus was here. I thought that was pretty funny, right? Fun and relevant works, okay? Casual research. Learn what you're doing. I had a client that wanted to figure out what type of condiment to get rid of on their hamburgers. And it was a big argument. I mean, huge meetings. I mean, we spent thousands of dollars just in meetings trying to figure out to get rid of the tomatoes, the onions, the pickles, and what do we do? Less of this, we got to put less salt on it, what it's going to be. We went to Facebook, got about 200 people that told us, without a doubt, the one thing that if they could leave it off, what it would be. What do you think it was? It was onions, right? Bam. So we got rid of the onions. Use it for research. Listen to your customers. Well, it's not real. You want to be real quantitative? Facebook allows you to do surveys now, right? You can actually get data if you really need it. Feel free. Challenge people. Ask people to join your page. Hey, we're almost at 3,000 people. Will you help us out? Keep in mind, they're your fans. They're followers. They like you. They're going to help you out. Just don't abuse it. But you can ask them to help you out occasionally. Contest work. The number one reason why someone joins a Facebook page or Twitter or follows anybody on social media, a business, and make no mistake, they know what you want to do. They're not silly, right? Is they think they're going to get an insider deal or something for free. Give it to them. It's cheaper than paying big full-page ad in Tennessee, I promise. Give them a bowling ball if that's what they want. I have 12,000 people that follow me on a bowling ball page. I'll give away a ball that cost me $30, right? Right? Okay. And make no mistake, this area of Nashville knows it without a doubt too. Twitter's been excellent for alerts and emergency response. We used it a lot here for mobilization of people whenever the flood came, right? So it actually is shown to be very, very worthy for that. Do the same in Haiti. Okay, so we got a bunch of channels. What do we use? Oh my gosh, you have all this crap. There's just way too many of them. There's way too many social media efforts. You're right, there are way too many. Here's the only ones you need to think about at least. Facebook, of course, Twitter, LinkedIn. Is everybody on LinkedIn? It's probably the #1 business prospecting tool ever. It's better than this. No, it's not. It's not better than this. But it's the next best thing. If you can't be there in person, nothing's better than face-to-face. But if you can't be there in person, that's like the next way to find out who people are, where they are, right? LinkedIn, YouTube, you need to be blogging, and now Pinterest has to be on our radar screen, especially if your audience is dominated by women. You have to. All right, or you're in food, or you're in travel and leisure, and there's a photographer dude. Where's the photographer dude? You on Pinterest? I will be. You got it. All right. Anyway, last year you looked at marketing executives. They defined what the 5 most important social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, blogs, LinkedIn, YouTube. There you go. I got data behind it. Okay, next. All right, so let's talk about social media planning. Tried to build my case of Marketing 101, fish where the fish are. Did I do a good job of that? Yes? Awesome. Okay. First of all, have a plan. You gotta have a plan. This isn't just Facebook. We're not just kids coming out of college, which we do. We get our interns to do our Facebook pages for us, don't we? We get the lowest common denominator to manage our Facebook page. We're all guilty of it. That's what we do. They are the voice of your business that you spent lots of money building up. You're putting in the hands of an intern. And because they're so professional, their grammar's amazing, right? Someone guess, there's no wrong answer. How much in the last 20 years do you think Chrysler has spent on their image? Throw out some numbers. I don't have the answer. The point will be made. 400 million. I do know for a fact they spend at least that a year. I know that for a fact. They spend at least 400 million a year. I think that's closer to $1 billion. So you can imagine what they've done, how much money they spend on their image every year, right? Last 20 years. Do you know last year, the person that manages the daily activity Twitter account for Chrysler tweeted, "These damn Detroit drivers drive me effing crazy." Spend a lot of money investing in your image and you put it in the hands of an intern. Now that was actually a bottom level person at the PR agency that worked for Chrysler. 2 things happened in the next 2 days. You want to guess what they were?
He got fired.
He got fired was #1, and the agency got fired was #2. There's no doubt about it. Had to happen, right? Make no mistake, because this started as a social thing that kids do, by no means should this be treated like a social thing that kids do. This is your reputation that you've worked really hard to build, right? You need to take it serious. It's happening right now, whether you're participating or not. All right? Have a plan. I have a social media planning worksheet. I have one. You give me your business card afterward, I'll email it to you for free. Cool? Cool. All right. Here's the quick tidbits of it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I'll just tell you what they are. Start with who you are and your mission. This is a basic plan. This isn't some rocket science thing that we're doing over here. It has to line in exactly with the mission of your company, right? That's how you should handle your social media. What is your mission? Why do you exist? What are your goals? Pick your peeps. Birds of a feather flock together. That's it's what a little mantra I have when it comes to social media, right? Hang out with people that are like you. If you want to be known for something, hang out with people like that. Follow people that are interested in what you're about, right? Make sense? So spend some time looking at who are people like me. If I'm a restaurant, who are the other restaurants that are like me? And who follows them? I bet they'd be interested in what I have to offer, right? Make sense? How will you be human? This is social, right? It's not clinical. We don't enjoy following people on Facebook that speak like robots and just give us clinical information all the time. How can you humanize what you do? That's easy if you are a restaurant, if you're Loveless. If you're in healthcare, that's a little challenging sometimes, right? If you are something that is more clinical in nature, that's tough. So this is a little challenging to address. How can you be more human, right? Do you have shareable content, pictures, blogs? Is your website full of content? What do you have that can be shareable? You need to be thinking about that, putting together an inventory before you ever start actually developing your plan. And how's it going to get done? Who's going to do it? It takes time and it's not free. Period. How's it going to get done? Who are the resources? What are the resources you have to get it done? Cool? All right. So, building a successful plan, the who and the Popeye test, the why, body rate, Zippo lights, and seasonings. Sorry, I just like to listen to this real quick. I'm not going to make a point, I just like to hear this. Okay. So everyone likes to do it, right? But I love the question of this. Who are you? Truly understand that question. When you're talking about social media and you're setting up all that you do for social media and how you talk to people, you've got to answer this question. Who are you? And I mean, I'm not Bellevue's ultimate resource in tire deals and specials, right? No. Are you fun? Are you approachable? Are you clinical? You've got to be honest. Who are you? You have to understand your dynamics, your personality. And the way I look at it is, if it's the opening paragraph of a novel, the one thing you have to do is create the setting, right? You have to create the setting that the whole book follows. That's how you need to handle your social media plan. Who are you? All right? Easiest, most authentic way to brand yourself. Ultimately, I'm not a social media guy. I'm a branding guy. I love social media because it is the best way to brand yourself I've ever seen in my life. Real easy rule. You are what you say you are. You are who you say you are. You are what other people say you are, right? We learned that in 7th grade. We learned that in the playground. When we walked away, someone said something about us. Guess what? That's what we were. That's what we are, right? I call it the Popeye test. All right? You passed the Popeye test? We all know the song, don't you? What did everybody say about it? What did they call it?
Popeye the Sailor Man.
They called him Popeye the Sailor Man. Did you know the actual song says, I'm Popeye the Sailor Man? Guess what he was? He's a sailor man, right? He was who he said he was, and he was what other people said he was. That's social media. If you talk about, guess what I talk about? Based on what you know about me, what do you think I talk about on social media? What's that? I talk about myself a lot, yes. Smarty pants. No, what do you think I want? What do you think I talk about?
Branding.
I talk about branding, talk about social media, talk about destination marketing, right? And I share content from people that are in branding, that talk about social media, that are in destination marketing. That's the other people that I follow, right? It's an easy premise when you start to really focus and not be all over the place. And let's be honest, social media is an ADHD nightmare. Trust me, I know, right? You've got to be focused. Who are you? Understand that, and that's going to tell you who do you follow, who are the types of people you want to attract, and how you talk to them. Does that make sense? All right? So, who are you? The why. If you can answer this question, that'll be the secret of really your entire social media plan. Why would someone want to follow you on Facebook? Why would they want to follow you on Twitter? Well, but not why you want them to follow you. Why would they? And I have a friend that's a mortgage, and I haven't figured this out yet, by the way, so I'm open for tips. I have a friend that's a mortgage lender. Anybody here in that business? We can't figure it out. Why would you want to follow your favorite? He's a good friend of mine, dear friend. And I told him, I don't want to follow you on Facebook. I like you. I love you. But I don't want to follow you. I just don't care. I mean, I definitely don't like it, but I don't care what my favorite mortgage lender has to say ever unless I want him. Does that make sense? So he doesn't have it fair. Now, the Frisk Center, you know what? I want to follow them because I like art. And I want to find out what's going on. I kind of feel like an insider if I'm doing that, right? I want that scoop. It's easy for them. The question for you is, why would someone follow your business? Why would they want to? Not why. We know why you want them to, so they'll do business with you. We know that. Why would they want to? If you answer that question honestly, and it's real easy for some of you, and it's a pain in the butt for others, that's the answer to what you need to do for your social media plan. Why would someone really care about getting an update from you? Okay? By the way, here's the data to that answer that question. Number one is receive discounts and promotions for their existing customer. How about that? Well, geez, do I want to waste my money speaking to my existing customers? Who would do that? I would. Because they have a lot of friends. And they'll be my best ambassadors. Right? And their opinion means more than mine. Their friends trust them more than they trust me. I'm just a marketer trying to get their attention. Right? Okay. How do you create content in social media? We'll wrap this up real quick. What would Bonnie Raitt do? The secret to creating content is, what would Bonnie Raitt do? Anybody want to take a guess what she would do? You are so good. You know, I given this presentation to a bunch of students, and they're like, "Who the hell's that?" And I can't figure out a way to tie social media with Lady Gaga. So, but reality is, that's the truth. If there's one thing you're going to remember, I swear it's going to be this too. Give people something to talk about, and they'll talk about it. If it's not worth talking about, they're not going to do it, right? So when you think about your content, as great as you are, you've got to create content that's worth other people talking about. Does that make sense? And that's the answer. It's not about calculating all stuff. Have something that's shareable. You know, I don't know. What's your business, man? Property management. Ooh. So let's say she's a property manager. She manages properties, right? What would be something interesting for you all about property management? Something that's interesting. I've already got 2 people that's already said nothing. Okay? Stinks, doesn't it? All right. What would be interesting? Make something up. Get creative. What would be something interesting about property management? Give away property. What'd you say? I'm sorry? Safety. Who would love to see content about safety and property? You lied? You raised your hand because you're nice. You're a really nice man, but you are lying. We want to see a deal, right? If you rent today, you get like the first month off. I don't know if it's rent or whatever, but right? Or here's what this tells you what kind of guy I am. I want to see the biggest investment disasters ever. Right? Like the money pit, Tom Hanks and everything, that kind of stuff. I want to see something absurd. Well, but I'm not in that business. Yeah, but I'm going to follow you if you do that. And whenever I'm ready to go, when I do want property management, who am I going to think of? The disaster property lady, right? I'm being a little silly to make my point. That for some of you, it's easy. For some of you, it's not. Ultimately, you've got to give people something worth talking about, okay? Cool. All right, who else took a little bit of time? All right, not much, just a little bit. All right, so what is good content? I mentioned Zippo lighter earlier. I learned this in the School of Journalism at Western Kentucky University. Everybody knows what a Zippo lighter is, right? We love it. And actually, I lied to you. I'm just trying to get your attention. It's not really Zippo, it's Hippo, okay? This is what a lot of journalists use to decide what's newsworthy. I think it's a perfect action item for social media. What's newsworthy? Is it timeliness? I don't care about Christmas deals right now, do I? Right? Get it? Is it timely? If it's timely, then it's relevant. At the end of the day, then it's relevant is the answer, right? If it's timely. If it's important. Some things are important to me as your customer. Some things are not important to me, right? I have a client that's in the bowling industry, and they wanted to post something about a car. And I'm like, that's not important for your business, right? That doesn't make any sense, okay? Now, if I made the car, the characteristics of it, tied it in with the ball, I'll give you that, right? But you have to think, how is this important? Proximity, if it's close within here. The fact of what the Bellevue Chamber of Commerce does in Washington is no relevance to us here, correct? Right? Proximity matters. Prominence, obviously the fact that Barack Obama said that Bellevue, Tennessee is one of his favorite places on earth is kind of important, right? The fact that Steve Chandler said it, although that'd be nice, doesn't have as much, right? The prominence is really important, okay? And then oddity. We like weird stuff. We just like weird stuff, okay? Am I right? We do. We love that's the most shareable stuff. So there's your how to create great content. And then I would say seasoning-wise, you need to make sure social media is something you use in everything. It's not a separate plan. If you're doing print, if you're doing broadcast, if you're doing outdoor, how can everything you do be social? If you sell lawn and patio stuff, create a stand and have people take a picture with it and say, if you check in here on Facebook, you're going to get 25% off today, right now. Heck, I'll do that for 25% off, won't I? What you want is you just got the fact that I have 800 friends on Facebook, I just promoted your business to all of them. What did it cost you? 25% off of $75 item? You couldn't have bought that kind of advertising, right? Makes sense? Make everything that you do social, not have a separate little social plan. And I'm wrapping up. I do have a one-page social media plan that's a little bit more detailed. I try to put it in one page because the reality is in this attention-starved or craved society, we're not going to look at a plan that's a dozen pages and a big volume of stuff. So I encourage everyone to have a one-page social media plan. It tells you everything to do, whatever. If you want a copy of it, I'll send it to you. Okay? I'm not going to tell you these other things because we ran out of time, but they were really funny and hilarious. And that's it. Nice talking to you.
Thank you.